Ragra boom. It's your girl Chinese Kitty. And I don't know. Today I wanted to talk about I've been wanting to talk about it for a couple of days, but I've been busy. I got a few minutes. I got a few minutes on my hands, so I don't know. I'm probably talk about it. I don't know if anybody gonna come in the chat. If they do, salute to you, Mr. X. Thank you for coming through. Salute, salute. First in the room, and I guess the other three or two is in the bushes. But yeah, I wanted to talk about, I don't know, some people may not know about it, but the people that's in the New York City area, you know, parents, whatever, y'all could chime in. Salute to you, New York Kitty. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. But y'all see the thumbnail. What up, Mikey? New York Nikki, the hardest moderator, non-biased moderator out here. That's right. She be doing work. Salute to you, Miss Nikki. And she definitely be sharing her input too. What up, Mikey? How you been? Today is beautiful, y'all. Today is a beautiful winter day. A lot of people's dressing, you know, they don't take their coats off. I done seen people with shorts. It's not that serious. It's a beautiful winter day, though. It's definitely get thick kind of weather, but yeah. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about, like I said, y'all see my thumbnail. I wanted to talk about, snow day. I wanted to talk about, when we had the snow day the other day, and salute to you, Miss Playful. Salute to you. Peace and blessings to you. Peace and blessings to everybody that's coming through, and those in the bushes. Thank you. Humble. Thank you for coming through, Big BX. You already Big BX. But yeah, I think it was last week or 2 weeks or a week before. Justo, what's up? Um, some kids, they usually that's the new wave now. They send little Instagram blasts when they're doing little collective things together. And for some reason, it's a lot of them. They follow the blast and they do it. And the last blast was about having a snowball fight. So a lot of people, a lot of the kids, I guess, that got the blast, which it was a lot of them, they got the blast and they went to Washington Square Park. Okay. As they entered Washington Square Park, and they was having a snowball fight. I didn't hear any violent. I didn't hear anything of anyone hurting each other. I didn't hear any of that. But we did see a video of police in the park, I guess trying to deter or stop the situation. Um, let me see. Yeah. So as you watch the video continues. The kids are playing. So, unbeknownst to them, I guess, they're continue to have fun. It's two police officers there, and they're throwing snowballs from each side. Snowballs are coming from both sides. So now, I think a week later or 2 weeks later, after this big snowball fight in Washington Square Park, now they decide they want to charge someone or charge a few people with assaulting these officers, the two officers that was in this video. They arrested one young man. They arrested one young man. They're saying this young man was part of assaulting the two officers out of maybe, I say maybe over, I know it's overly 200, over 100, maybe it was more than 50 kids or maybe more than 50 people in that park. I'm not gonna say it was just kids. It might have been young adults there too. But it was a lot of kids in that park, a lot of people in that park having a snowball fight. But they picked this one child, and they're saying they want to charge him with assault in the car, and or they're saying should he be charged? Now, my thing is, we all used to have snowball fights when we were younger during snow days when it snowed. Why should someone be charged for having fun with each other? No one got hurt. You didn't hear any weapons was drawn. Usually these kids are causing havoc. The last couple of times we've been hearing about these kids, they're going through the malls, they're rambushing everything, they're ransacking the stores, they're stealing, they're doing all kinds of stuff. Now, we hear about kids in the park or just people in the park, a group of people. I'm not going to say it's just kids. A group of people in the park and they're having snowball fun. We didn't hear about any weapons. We didn't hear any children fight. We didn't hear anyone fighting. I keep saying children. I got to stop saying children. We didn't hear anyone fighting. We didn't hear anything about violence. The only thing that we did hear and I witnessed with my eye that I saw was the officers were getting snowball thrown at them. Which was funny. It was funny, and it would be funny to anybody. But you know what I mean? They was throwing the snowballs. I say the officers, instead of being, so stiff and and up the anus. I'm trying to be grammatically correct here because YouTube, you don't know what you can and cannot say with them, everything. They should have just got into the fun with them. You know? I think they should have just had fun with them. If anybody from the NYC area, if you heard about this situation, can you chime in with me? Can you say something? I don't know if anyone else heard about this. That a group of people got together at Washington Square Park and they had a snowball fight, and the result of the snowball fight is they're trying to charge people with assaulting officers at the park. And the assault was throwing snowballs at the officer. So now, yes, they got this young black man. They paraded him on the news that they picked him up out of everybody that was in the park. They're saying he was one of the ones that threw snowballs or assaulted the officers. I don't know if anyone else heard of this. Hey, baby, what's going on? Yeah, I don't. I was just talking. I wanted to talk about some stuff that was going on in New York. That a group of people sent the Instagram blast, and the blast was to have a snowball fight at Washington Square Park, which is a big park in New York, a very famous park that a lot of kids go to. They dance, they do different things. And they went there and they was having the snowball fights, and I guess officers were sent there, and it was two officers that I saw in the video that I guess was trying to stop it, but snowballs was being thrown at them. And the results of all of that, they wanna charge people with assaulting the officers. And now they have arrested one young man, which is of African American, and they're charging him with assaulting the officer by throwing snowball. Out of everybody, and I say it was a lot of people in that park. And snowballs was coming from everywhere. But they picked this one young black man and saying that he was throwing snow. I didn't come up here to stay long though, but I did want to talk about that. Yeah, I did want to talk about that. Right, Aaron. But what I was saying, what was crazy to me was that the past couple of weeks, I'm not gonna lie, they have been tearing up the city. They've been running up in the malls. They've been running up in the malls, acting crazy as a group, as a collective. They've been running up in our malls, acting crazy. But this time we didn't hear any violence. The only thing was the officers got snow thrown at them. I say, Aaron, that they should have just joined the fun. They should have pulled out, the big kid in them, even though they were on duty. But they could have pulled up a little. They could. It was worth a little fun. How much can your captain have? How much can a captain have reprimanded them? They could have threw one or two little snowballs and then stop or something like that. Like, how did they assault you? Or were you embarrassed because it's going viral that you was running through this park and you got being bombarded with snow? Because that's what happened. They was getting snowballs thrown at them from both direction everywhere. But yeah. Oh yeah. I thought maybe somebody else would have picked it up from the NYC area and talked about it. And maybe I joined the conversation because I didn't see nobody else talking about it. But I thought somebody else would, or a parent, how would they have felt getting a phone call that your son is getting arrested for assaulting an officer? And then when you ask questions, they tell you your son was at a park during a snowball fight and with almost over 500 people in the park throwing snow, but your son was pointed out to be one of the ones out of the five to be throwing snow at the officers. I don't know. Yeah. It's like thick in them bushes, boy. Them bushes is thick. I know it's boring over here. I don't know what y'all was looking for. Y'all saw my thumbnail. I wanted to talk about what's going on in the city. I wanted to talk about people getting arrested for having a snowball fight. I don't know what y'all wanted to talk about. Y'all came over here thick in the bushes and running away. But that's what I wanted to talk about. Somebody should have been talking about that when that young man got arrested and paraded on the news like he killed someone or something like that. Somebody should have been talking about it instead of dragging people up here. What up, peoples? What's going on? How you doing? I know you was out there. Was you in Washington Square Park throwing snowballs too? People getting arrested for having snowball fights. Don't throw no snowballs now. And you make a mistake and you probably hit an officer, you're gonna get arrested. That's crazy. I don't see none of those people out there. I don't see none of them making chants and gathering up people and talking about this out there and saying, why is he getting arrested? I don't see nobody. Where's the people in the community saying something? Because it's crazy that y'all gonna pick up this one young black man out of all those people that was in Washington Square Park throwing snowballs and say that this one black man is the one that threw snowballs and y'all calling it assault on officers. It was many snowballs thrown at him coming from everywhere. But yeah, I didn't come up here to bore y'all with my little shit. I'm not protesting. I just thought maybe other parents that may be in the New York City area, whether you're a father or a mother, you know, I thought maybe y'all would have felt the way about that young man being broadcasted on the news like he just, murdered somebody or he was around here being a fucking mass murderer, excuse my language, for YouTube purposes, that he was in Washington Square Park throwing snowballs, having fun, as he should. They weren't hurting anyone. It was a blast, like a big blast, a big Instagram blast. Those who made it made it. Those who caught the blast, and they went for the snowball day. They wasn't ransacking anybody's stores. They wasn't hurting anyone. They weren't fighting. They was just having a snowball day. I don't see what was wrong with them having that. So when the officers went in there and they got caught in the middle of the fight, because if anybody see that video, they're clearly walking in between two sides throwing snowballs at each other. And I'm not gonna lie, these days, they don't have no respect. So they literally was throwing, some of them was literally throwing it at them. So, but they should have just gotten the fun. What up, artists? Artists, did you see that video when them kids was at when I keep saying kids because they weren't all kids. When them people was in Washington Square Park. What up, Ella? When them people went to Washington Square Park to have a snowball day fight. Right. Okay. So now, following that, they arrested a young black man. They arrested him, saying they're charging him with assault. Assaulting the officers by throwing the snowballs. He was one of all those people. They picked him and say he was one of all those people that threw snowballs at the officers. That's what I said. Like I think they should have just joined in. That's what I said. I think they should have just joined in instead of all this. They got assaulted and everything. So now for them, nobody speak. I didn't see nobody speaking up, but I did see them posted that man on the news saying that he was one of them that they picked up and they charging him with assault and some other charge. I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid. And if somebody don't speak up, it's gonna be crazy. Because since when is a crime to have to have a snowball fight? Like I said, they weren't doing anything violent. You didn't hear any crime. You didn't hear anything weapons. You didn't hear we arrested 24 people. They had weapons. You didn't hear none of that. You didn't hear they was ransacking the stores, which is what we was hearing these past couple of weeks. They've been ransacking the malls. That I think that's what I said. I think they just was embarrassed because that video went viral. That video went viral. And instead of y'all didn't have to go viral for that. Y'all could have just picked up some snowballs and threw it back, and y'all wouldn't, it wouldn't have looked like nasty work. But nah, that was crazy though. That's my okay. So you heard about it, Ella. You heard about it. This is what I'm saying. So how would y'all feel as parents getting a phone call that we arrested your son for being in the park having a snowball fight? No, not even that. Not even there. We ain't even gonna go there. Just saying because they're not gonna say all that. All they're gonna say your son's been arrested for assaulting a police officer. Wait, what? Wait, I'm acting like Ming right now. No, I didn't just read like that. Salute to Ming and Miss Ming. No, but what? If I got- Okay, that's okay. Okay. See, I was gonna get to that, but freaking artist, he got to troll all the time. He threw me off a little bit. But no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Then your next question is, what do you mean assaulting my an officer? So the next question he was like, how? And then they tell you, well, he was in the park and he was throwing snow. They was having a snowball fight. Jesus Christ, people's in his shit. People's in his crap. What the hell? What in the hell? Mm-mm. But yeah, that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy. It's just crazy. As a parent, like how you take that? How do you take that? Y'all telling me that y'all arrested my child for throwing snow? That shit is terrible. Terrible, terrible. I know. I said congratulations, Aaron. I said that. I said congratulations. That's right. Stay focused, girl. You better stay focused. You better stay focused, girl. That's right. That's right. You better stay focused and celebrate. You worked hard and keep working hard till you get where you going. That's right. You still on the road, Aaron? Artists over there being messy as usual. Artie, I'm not here for the messy baby. I wanted to talk about the That young man getting arrested for, going to a snowball fight and having fun and throwing snow. You know, that's what I want to tell. I didn't come here for messy, baby. Dímelo, Cuba. What's going on, Cuba? Yeah. I'm about to be out now, Cuba. I was gonna talk about I was talking about them people trying to arrest people for having the snowball day at the Washington Square Park. And that young man that they arrested out of all them people. Look up. Shut up. Shut up, Cuba. Your ass always gotta be trolling. But yeah, and that young man they arrested and stuff like that, trying to say he assaulted the officer out of all the people that's in the park. How they found it, they said him specifically was one of them, but whatever. It is what it is. This is New York City, right? My bad. I was closing up my desk and picking up my stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, shut up, Cuba. Your ass play all day. Let me find out they done made you a troll. They done made you a troll, Cuba. They done turned Cuba into a troll. I know. I was trying to pick up my stuff from the desk, but I was dragging the chair. I didn't know the chair was that loud till I just listened to it. I was like, oh shit. That chair making mad noise, fucking it up. I heard the feedback on my thing. I just heard it. But yeah, I'm about to whatchamacallit. I was packing my thing, getting my stuff off my desk. But yeah, I'm gonna come back later.